2019 Ford Expedition. We're going to change the heater hoses on it. These are the hoses. That's the part number on that one. And the part number on that one. So these hook up to the heater core and then run back to the engine. This does have rear heat, so it'll have a connection that hooks to the pipes, coolant pipes that run to the back. So first thing we need to do is we're going to remove this top engine cover here. We're going to remove these two 10mm nuts, one here and one down there. We need to remove negative battery cable, and I'm going to make some room down through here because that's where the heater hoses hook up at the heater core, and it's going to be kind of difficult to get down there to release the quick releases without a little more room. So we want to take these connectors off. This is for the computer. We'll have a tab right here that you'll push in on, and then you'll slide this out almost like a hinge. You pull the connector out in the same way on this side, which that's probably gonna, there it goes. We'll just pull it out. It'll have a like a push type clip that's hooked to the wiring harness underneath this. Here, I'm just trying to do it with my hand. I may have to get a pair of needle nose to get that pop loose. And then there's a 10mm bolt right here that holds this cover on right here. And there's one here. Let's remove them and get this harness unclipped here and then pull this out. Also on this cover here, I'm gonna need, there's a little harness clip right here. Snaps in, get it out, and then we're gonna have to unplug both these electrical connectors here. This is just push this tab in and then pull this out, and then this one is another one of that hinge type deals where you release it, pull it back, and unplug it. Now we'll also have to get these connectors disconnected by going in here and releasing a clip and then sliding them out. There's a clip right behind it, and we should be able to get that loose like that, and then we'll just pull this whole computer bracket and everything out instead of the side. Now that opens it up quite a bit. You can try to do it with the, you know, that computer installed, but you're going to have a hard time getting to these quick releases under here. So right here, right next to the high pressure fuel pump, this hose that hooks to the top here, it'll have a plastic harness retainer that pushes into this little bracket. Need to take that out. And then down here there is two 8mm nuts that hook up to this bracket. Let's remove them. Now once you get these two little nuts off this plastic bracket, it's going to take something to get up under it. We're not taking the bracket all the way off, we're just pulling it up. And what that's allowing us, we're going to have a little more clearance when we try to slide these hoses through here. Also, back here where these two hoses meet up at, there is a plastic tie strap. It's like a double hose tie strap. Just cut one of the ends off, and then you'll be supplied with a new one to go back in its place. See, it's got 2 slots. You slide it, connect one, and then go back and do the other one. Also, look inside these hoses. Like, look inside here, make sure there's nothing in there, because I looked at this one and that was stuck in there. Don't want that. Next, I'm going to unhook these heater hoses where they connect to the heater core. They are held on by quick release type deal. Let me get this one off. First, you're going to move it around like this right here. You're going to break the seal. And it's going to have 2 flanges that stick out of the back of it. You're going to push one flange down, then work around to try to get to that other one. It push them in while you pull out. And it's going to come out like that right there. And then you'll have to go back in here where that white plastic clip is, and you'll flip these. You have to remove this. So I'm just flipping them tabs out, flipping them where I can slide this off, and it'll come out like that right there. And I'll show you more about this part of it here. So here's what I mean. If it, say it was on there, you're going to push this down as you may even have to kind of put a little pressure, downward pressure on the hose and the coupler to get, you'll hear it usually click. Then you'll keep that held down. You'll get in here and get the other one. You may have to lift up a little bit on it. It'll click and it'll release them, and then you can bring them off. That lower one right down here is the same way. So we'll just twist it around just like that. I know there's not much room here, so you can imagine trying to do this with this computer installed. You'd probably end up breaking them clips off and trying to break them clips off. It don't matter if you do break them off, but it's just a little bit easier this way. So I'll just push down on this. I'll push down a little on the hose. I'll wiggle it around. It is released on the top. The problem is getting to the bottom. And I may have to have my other hand free to be able to do it. Because sometimes you got to use both hands. Hold one down and reach your other hand up in there to get the other clip released. So once I got that lower one released, I had to use both hands. I used one push down, the other one to push up, twist it around, then bring that off. And again, flip them tabs up like that. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but and then pull this plastic clip off. Discard them, they're no good. All right, we're going to work on getting this top hose, because it runs on top here, starting here, and it runs down and it'll hook into this via clamp, like one of them ones you squeeze together on this end and this end with a pair of pliers or something, and then slide it off and then pull this hose off of this. I don't exactly know what that is. That's a little helper pump or what right there. But anyway, we need to remove that clamp right there. Now if you'll look, this is the hose I'm talking about. It's a smaller hose, but so if I get my light here, this is hooked up like that. You've already got this top, the one with the blue that goes into the heater core. That's the one that goes on the bottom to that tube going to the rear heat, and then that's the one that has that clamp on it. So you'll just have to either put a new clamp on or transfer that clamp to this hose. Now if you'll notice, they've changed the design of these hose clamps on these newer ones. On both hoses, they don't have the same type. But all the rest of them on here will have that old type like we just removed off this heater core. So I'll have to go down here. Let me get my light straightened out. Right here, this is the top one. We'll pull this back right here. It's a white connector. It's not a black one. But we'll just spin it around, we'll break it loose, and we'll do the same thing with it on this. You know, it's got the same kind of clip design as this. You'll have to push these together. Now, if you can't get it, you can go in with a screwdriver, and you can break this little bridge right here. It goes across. You can break it off, but you also have to come back to the back side and break that one off. I've done it before when ones I could not get out, but most of the time, if you just take your time and mess with it, you should be able to release these. They do make a tool. Believe me, the tool, there's not enough room to get a tool in there. Okay, so there's the bottom one. See, it's white colored. That's for the top hose. We will have to cut a little tie strap right here that hooks both of them together. A pair of side steps. See if I can do that real quick. One-handed. Okay, so next we need to get this little clamp here off, get it off, get this hose loosened, and then we're going to feed that hose back through here. We can get this front part underneath this bracket. Now these new hoses will come with these clamps, or these zip ties here that have the push pin made into them, and you'll have two of them, one for each hose. And I forgot about this step here you need to do. They go right here at the bottom side of this plastic bracket. There's two holes down here where them push type clips go into. That one I've got removed. That one there is still in it. I'll take a screwdriver and I'm just going to punch that through. Can't do it one-handed, but you'll get the idea. You just put a screwdriver on it and just push that one right there on through. Now we're ready to remove this top hose, so I'll just grab it, pull it up. My little clamp fell off. You'll have to cut them tie straps too, because they hold the both of these hoses together. So when I go back with this top hose, I'm just going to use a worm clamp down here. So if you're going to use one of them, you need to pick one of them up. It'll slide it on. That way it'll be ready. So right now we need to work on this hose right here, getting this one out. The bottom hose has the same kind of connector down here where it runs to the rear. It's a white coupler with the same kind of, you know, where you squeeze the one in and the other one and pull it off. So I'll get that removed now. I got one loose. Let me try to do this with one-handed. I'm twisting around, I'm pulling, twisting, pulling up, and it came right off. Remove our little keeper deal here, flip them tabs forward and pull it off. Then we'll go around here. It also runs under the bottom side of that little bracket, and it runs up to this upper radiator hose. There's a T made into this radiator hose. It's a plastic one too. and it'll have the same kind of coupler on it. Probably won't be able to see it because it's underneath, but we'll get them loose and then we'll pull that hose out just like I did that other one. So here's a tip. If you cannot get to that lower hose where it hooks to the radiator hose, just undo your upper radiator hose where it hooks to the radiator right down through here. Just got one of them squeeze type clamps. You squeeze it in and pull it off. You can lift this up and you can get to that hose right here. Get a light for you to see, but I won't be able to do it with one hand, but you can get to them easier that way. Okay, got this lower hose off of the upper radiator hose, and there's always one that you can't get off, and I did have to cut one side of that bridge. This bridge here I'm talking about right here on the top. I cut it off and then slid it off. Now we'll just grab it back here and pull it out. Just like that. Now, when we go back on with the new ones, we want to take some grease, a small amount, not a lot. You want to go in here with rub some on your finger, rub some around your finger, and go in here and rub it on these O-rings and seals in each one of these fittings. We do not want to pinch one of them O-rings, but do every one of them quick fittings like that. And rub some grease around the tubes, like the heater core tubes back here. Rub some grease around them on the outside area on that tube, and then that one on the bottom down here, and the one hooks up here to the upper radiator hose. So when you get ready to put these hoses back on with this new designed end here, real simple, all you do is put it on the tube and push it in. You'll hear it click. Just give it a pull and a twist to make sure it's locked in. That simple. So now you just go back together how it came off, and if this video helped you out any at all, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.